Now we got to talk about the state of these Bears at the running back position. Because it seems like, according to Dan Wiederer, that the Chicago Bears are not thrilled about where they are with the running back position right now. As according to Dan Wiederer of the Chicago Tribune, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. I know what to do. The Bears were focused on landing a few different running backs. Most notably, though, Dan Wiederer writes, was Ohio State's Travion Henderson. He talks about how the Bears made phone calls to see whether or not they could trade up for Boise State's Ashton Jeanty in the first round. And they believed that Henderson was the more realistic target. On Friday evening, fingers in Hallis Hall draft room, this from Dan Wiederer, remained crossed that a swing at landing a playmaking running back would connect. Poles pressed the gas and made aggressive attempts to trade up. Henderson's blend of speed and vision, plus his tenacity in the pass protection and skill as a pass catcher, were alluring. The Bears had significant interest. So, outside of taking my victory lap on the fact that
shut up
means they don't want DeAndre Swift, but now they got to work with him. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like kind of obvious.
Oh, we actually want you here.
Ben Johnson said that he likes him.
Yeah, okay. You're so hostile with DeAndre Swift. What's wrong with you?
It's like, I can only read the tea leaves and like see that they don't want this dude here. They would have drafted a running back earlier. Oh, okay. Tried to. But what I will say is this, Jordan JC, not the whole victory lap, not that situation. Punter. But
okay.
At a certain point, right? You saw the Bears trade back at 41. You saw the Bears trade back again at 72. You saw the Bears trade back again. Like there kept being this continuous trade back when it seemed like, okay, well, you know what? We'll get Cam Scatterbo. Oh, darn it. All right. We missed out on that one. Well, you know what? We'll go get Jaden Blue. Well, actually, we're going to take a linebacker here and let Jaden Blue stay on the board, right? Like,
hypocrite.
It seemed like at every turn, the Bears were trying to trade out because they didn't feel like that player was the best player available or there was value there, right?
Mm.
At a certain point, you just got to go, well, we think this guy is going to be good. We got to take our guy no matter where the value is, because now you're sitting here in a situation where we got to talk about this as well, right? Where you're talking about signing two running backs, both who have injury issues coming off of coming off of a season last year with J.K. Dobbins with the Chargers and Nick Chubb with a broken foot coming from Cleveland.
Yeah.
And you're basically going, all right, well, I guess we'll figure it out, which now they got to say, right, we're excited to work with Roschon Johnson. I hope that Roschon Johnson works, but we know he's got concussion issues. Your thoughts?
Yeah. And by the way, Relentless Mike, I did call him hypocrite. I know his name is Hippolyte. I'm just being a little goofy.
I just man like that. That's not.
It's just being silly.
I didn't even peep that.
Yeah. No, I actually said it. Relentless got some good ears because I said it really quickly. But no, my thing as far as with the running back conversation, look, we heard before the actual draft that there were going to be a lot of rumors of the Bears trying to trade up into the 6th or the 5th or the 4th pick for whoever. The BPA, whether it would be for the Mason Grahams or Abdul Carter. We were all getting giddy for that, and I was looking forward to it on draft day. That was another reason why you had that. I had that face because I'm like, we were looking to get one of those guys, and I was just completely I couldn't believe it. Nothing went our way. That's actually the best one. Jimmy in the bubble playoffs. Like, I gave everything I got. I didn't even get a haircut for 5 months.
I bet you thought you were getting that running back, didn't you?
Stabbed it. Thought Jeanty was going to come to us, but alas, okay, that ship sailed, right? And I said, okay, well, obviously, let's get your guy. You were high on Travion Henderson because of all his skill set, him being a really good pass blocker as well in the running back position, his speed, his ability to see the hole and cut through the hole. Like, there's a lot of things that he does well as well. And so I was looking for that. End up being taken a pick before 39 by the Patriots. And so that's where I'm like, okay, well, if things aren't going the way we need them to go, let's get our plan B together, which I thought was very good in getting Luther Burden.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it's like, okay, do you just kind of go with best player available? If we were to pick someone at 49, say we were to get Cam Scatterbo and kept 41, I would have been a little bit irritated at that because I believe his value would have been third or fourth round. And so that's where I say, okay, do you just go after best player available still in those rounds rather than trying to go after the position that you keep missing on? I'm fine with that because as we found out in the 7th round, we got a guy who, by all accounts, was the best running back in Big Ten. You know, statistically, over the Quinshon Judkins, over the Travion Henderson.
No. Hey, you gotta take that with a grain of salt, though. Like yards wise, yes, he was. You know, Travion Henderson got his 1,000 whatever it was 92 in like 140 carries, right?
Yeah, well, whatever. I said what I said. All right,
big difference.
Did they load up the box at over Ohio State?
They were not loading up the box.
Yeah,
right. I will say that. I give you that. Right. I give you that.
Yeah, Manun guy was the only guy in that offense. They were trying to stop him. They couldn't.
But my point is that you if you miss, you just continue to get best player available. You address other issues. The only miss, I think, was the linebacker, in my opinion, in the 4th round. Every other position you continue to address. If you can't hit when you want to hit, like Ryan Poe said, you don't mess up your draft board. You don't sacrifice value in the later rounds or next year's draft picks just to try and move up. It was kind of funny because a lot of people said at that very moment when he mentioned that during the press conference, Ben Johnson looked at him like, yeah, you know what I wanted to do. It was almost like he had a glare at him like, yeah, we weren't on the same page with that. I don't know how you want to read that, but my thing is I'm glad they stuck to their board. I'm glad they did what they did. They got the players that they needed. And if we need to go and get maybe a hobbled star in Nick Chubb to give him a chance at trying to regain his footing, no pun intended, and or a Dobbs or not Dobbs. What's J.K. Dobbins? J.K. Dobbins. If we want to try and take a chance on him being a little bit younger of a running back, I'm fine with that. You know, you have so many directions that you can go at that position.
I think here's where it gets tough for me though, right? Like if you're going to take one right by the 3rd round, all right, I'm here on the running back conversation, right? When we got to the 4th, I was like, all right, we'll take it. Like, take one. You got to take one. Let's take one. Please take one. Then we got. Yeah. I do like Kyle Monunga. I think he's going to have an opportunity. Dang, Grady came in.
Man, where's Grady been? I was just looking like, hey.
Grady, man, he said, Mr. Meaty's microphone smells like bacon and smoked ends.
Welcome back, buddy. Missed all your jokes.
Listen, you traded out of 72. Caleb Johnson went 83.
Yeah.
Is he somebody who's not on your board, or is he somebody who you felt was going to fall further and you missed out on? Right? Like that, that's kind of where the question marks do come in for me, where it's like, if the guy that was next on your board was, and we'll never know what they board perfectly is, but if the guy who's next on your board is 11 picks later, nobody's going to be sitting there flipping a table if he pans out and you took, you know, who do we even take in the 3rd round? We traded all the way out of the 3rd round, right?
We had 3 second-round picks, and then that was it. Yeah, we had 3 second-rounders. And then we got the linebacker in the 1st round.
You know, like
so
that.
You got
that's
Ozzie
kind of
Trapilo,
You got Ozzie Trapilo, and you ended up getting Shamar Turner by adding 2 second-round picks, right? But then you spent all day, right? Maybe that's not your guy, but then right, the running back position comes up again in the 4th round, and you trade back, and Dylan Sampson goes 126 because you traded too far back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is the question. And again, we'll never know what their board looks like, but the question is, it felt like the whole rest of the draft, again, right? Like Ian Rappaport was saying about the call-ups for Colston Love.
Colston, yeah.
It seemed like every time the Bears' next running back was taken, they traded back. Like almost to a T. Who was taken? Let's see. Cam Scatterbo was taken 105. the Bears trade back again with Buffalo at 109 almost immediately. And they end up getting Ruben Hippolyte, the third, also behind Dylan Sampson, who was taken 126.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, again, running back, y'all know how I feel about it. You can get it in the draft next year. You can get it in undrafted free agency. I think it's a position that you can find. But it did feel like you were chasing that position all day, and it forced you to make some bad decisions on day 3.
It forced you to make some bad decisions, but at the end of the day, I think you still did what you needed to do to round out this roster. And that's where I'm not necessarily worried about us missing on all the different running backs, because as we both said it, there's a ton of them in this draft.
Yeah.
I didn't even know anything about Cal Monangai. That's why I was so excited when I did the deep dive on him. You know, there's names out there that were still decent and they've been undrafted. We just picked them up, the Deion Hamptons. There's names where if you give them a shot, okay, it looks like they might be something. There may be something there. And so that's why I'm not necessarily too worried. Now, I'm not sitting here and saying I'm adopting the Pat mindset of just give me any running back and pay him $100 per year.
Kyle Monangai paying out. Oh, y'all gonna see me doing a backflip in the studio.
I ain't gonna lie. If Cal Monangai, his next contract gonna be like $5 million per year or something. He's gonna be so happy just to make $5 million.
Give him $1. They're gonna be like, we're gonna give you $1 a day.
He gonna lead the league in rushing and give him $1 a day.
Give you $1 a day, bro.
That would be hilarious. But I mean,
it's interesting though, right? The running back conversation, I think, is an interesting one where, you know, like, listen, if Monangai pans out, nobody's going to be complaining about it. Everybody's going to be like, oh, you found this guy with amazing value. But it does seem like there is this want for the Chicago Bears to go out there and add more to this running back room because of this decision. Now, do you feel like, and hearing this, right, does it feel like Nick Chubb is probably a lock, or J.K. Dobbins? I don't think a Breece Hall trade is happening. I don't.
That doesn't make sense if DeAndre's still on the roster.
It makes zero sense after the draft.
Yeah,
like it makes sense to trade Breece Hall before the draft, but like, at this point, if Breece Hall is traded now, they just hate him. Like, let's be real. Like,
get out of here.
Really? Like, if Breece Hall is traded now, like, oh, he's Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? We'll pay you to go away. Like, please, like, leave us alone, because like there's no advantage to trading him now. That's right, Relentless Mikey. For $1 a day, you can help the Chicago Bears.
I forgot about the Sarah McLachlan music.
I don't know the rest of the words.
For $1 a day, that's hilarious.
I'm White Lady. For $1 a day, you can help Pat pay for running backs.
Running backs that he has no care for.
He could care less about it.